And for those of you with less experience, I am here to help. I will assist you in any way that I can to help you with a successful installation. Here I want to show you this. This is a fuel pressure cutoff switch. Really nothing to do with the SMAC booster unit, but I also have a RPM window switch. That's for the nitrous. So it's got some go, and I just got done putting down the whoa as you saw at the beginning of the video. So I've been doing a lot of modification and fabrication to the car itself, and I've been unable to correctly document for this car my mileage increase with my unit because of all the different mods, like the air intake, the custom dual exhaust that I hand fabbed, all the engine work. I'm just barely reaching the point now, after all these months of fine-tuning this engine, to the point where I have a baseline mileage, which it depends on. Well, I've got a trailer that I tow around quite a bit. It's not too heavy, but it does hurt the gas mileage, and I've been recording over several months. The trailer, of course, I'm a handyman, do-it-yourselfer kind of guy, so I'm always hauling stuff around, lumber and wood and whatnot. I heat with wood. So the mileage results that I have are based on a large spread over various driving conditions this past winter, and I was able to record anywhere from 18 to 19 miles per gallon average, worst case being 15 with the trailer fully loaded, and best case being 25 cruising on the interstate to visit my buddy. So it depends, like I said, it depends, but I averaged everything out, and so that's my base starting point. 18, 19 miles per gallon. I'm going to say 18.5 miles per gallon starting point. I'm going to start officially recording numbers for my particular unit, try to match the 20% that I was receiving on my motorcycle that I still am receiving, and I am going to be making a video of the bike also. I'm doing some sick customization work. You guys are going to be stoked when you see my bike when it's done. But for now, she's up on the jack stands, and she's getting a complete paint job, and the booster is getting shined up, and I'm making a custom bracket for that too, one that's better than the one I had in the past. So it's going to be a lot like this bracket here. So I just wanted to show you guys what the installation looks like, and of course, got to show off my engine a little bit. I've been working on this thing for almost 2 years, so got to brag a little bit. This is how the SMAC rolls. Recognize. Okay, so the other part of the installation, as we pan around, some very important components to the SMAC Mobile. I don't know if you can see it too good in the video here, but I have a fuel pressure gauge and, very importantly, an air-fuel ratio gauge. Now, these gauges are important in helping me monitor the health of my engine. The air-fuel ratio especially is going to tell me a generalized health of the fuel mixture, and indirectly telling me what kind of temperatures they're running. If I'm running too lean, too rich, very important when I'm running this booster. Ideally, like on my motorcycle, I'd have an EGT gauge. I don't have one in this car yet, but I will. And I'm also going to have, I'm going to mount an in-dash ammeter also, so I can monitor my booster current draw from inside the car instead of out there. For right now, that's just a temporary fix. So get yourself some gauges. Get yourself an EGT gauge. That's the most important gauge. If you don't have that, at least have an air-fuel ratio gauge so you can monitor engine performance. And also, of course, you'll have the nitrous. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So my switch for the booster, I mounted it down here. It's connected to ignition power, so the booster only comes on when I turn the motor on. I could also choose to run it off my fuel pressure switch, but because I'm constantly monitoring the system, I recommend that for you guys. But for me, because I'm constantly monitoring, if I see a problem, I'm just going to hit the switch. But normally, I'd say, yeah, hook it up to fuel pressure, an oil pressure sending unit, so that if the engine isn't running, the booster's not running, and you're not filling up your intake with hydroxy gas and then start it up and bang. So let's give this thing a crank. Let me show you. let me show you what's going on as far as current. There's your air fuel happily pulsing away. So what I want to show you before I conclude the video here, I'm set up for short trips. We've discussed this on the forum some. My starting current, well, it's a little bit warm right now. It's been running 16 amps, 13 or so, 13 and a half volts. This is an ideal setting for short trips. For longer trips, because you know of the heating problems with long duration operation of a smack booster, anything over 4 hours, if you start off at 14 to 16 amps, by the time the 4 hours is up, you're going to be drawing almost 30 amps and running 90 degrees Celsius, which is too high. So I take short trips, half hour at the most, down to the store, whatever. So mine is set up for short trips. If you're a long tripper, I highly, highly recommend that you either use a PWM with a dial mounted on the dash to limit your current to 20 amps, or you start off your cold draw at about 5 amps. At the end of 4 hours, you should be drawing about 20 amps due to heating, and it should stabilize. This one here, if I let it run for 4 hours, it's going to stabilize at about 30 amps, which is too much. But I very rarely ever drive that far, and you know what? If I do, I'm going to go ahead and switch out. I've got an electrolyte already mixed. All I got to do is dump it out and replace it with a 5 amp cold draw. So here's your bubbler, bubbling away, sending your gas right into the intake manifold. Okay, not sucking water up. And the reason why it's not sucking water up, guys, is because I don't have it hooked to vacuum. Alright? Key point. So there you have it. The ideal smack booster installation. And if you don't know, I'm telling you, you better ask somebody, fool.